Hi there guys, and welcome to another Train Sim 2021 video. Today's video covers a couple of little bits. It covers a really nice scenario is what it covers. But it also covers a little bit of a work in progress, sort of interim mod that's been done by Jake for the Class 70s. It's Jake Fuller, one of the RTS guys, and also North Yorkshire Moors on streams. He's done a bit of copying around and added some run sounds and the horn from the 66 and a few other bits and pieces to just make the 70 more drivable. I will say that the 70, whilst not D2G's worst work in the world, the physics on it are still as appalling as they were before, so it kind of is what it is. It's an interim fix, it's nothing special. When will this be released? I don't know. Can it be released fully yet? Jake's working that out at the moment, going through everything, making sure that it can be released without treading on anybody else's toes and things like that. Right then, so the route, because people will ask this in the comments all the time. The route is Manchester stations to Huddersfield. It's available over on alanthomsonsim.com in the route section. The scenario is by Adam Haig, and that again is available over on Alan Thomson Sim in the scenario section. I'll tell you the name of the scenario as we get going and stuff like that anyway. Rightio, after driving to depart from here at Guy Bridge Yard for Manchester Victoria when you're ready. Other trains will be given priority over you. On your way into the city centre, make sure all manual junctions are set before heading onto the main line. So I did this scenario on stream the other day, so I know that I just have to change one set of points on this and I should be all good. Was it that set? No, it wasn't even that set, I don't think. No, it was that one. It's this one. Silly man. But it's done now. Right, so Manchester Station to Huddersfield. This has taken us up the freight only branch as well, which is really nice. I have done it once or twice. I thought I hadn't done it before, but I have. But I haven't done it in a video, so it makes it even better. Right, let's get some headlights on. Let's drop the brakes. We've got a red at the end here, which we're going to set up for a minute, and we'll have some joyful AI to watch. The route itself. So this route is made by Penno and Pacer. It's been around quite a while and it's fantastic. Freeware route and a fantastic freeware route at that. The scenario is Oscar Juliet 34, which is the 1439 Guide Bridge Yard to Brindle Heath RTS, which is refuge transfer side. I can't remember what it was. Refuge transfer something. Mr. Fletcher told me what it was on the stream the other day. So this is pretty local here for Guy Bridge, threading your way to City Centre. The date is 3rd of the 5th, 2021. Now, it is great to see the 70s back in action. I know a lot of them have been sort of warm stored for a while, especially during the COVID stuff and everything. But they've started bringing them out again now, which is nice. And I must admit, I have a bit of an unhealthy relationship with 70s. I do like them. We all know they're called Fuglies. You'll know what that stands for. But I quite like them. Predators is another name I've heard for them. Don't know. I like Fugly. Even though I don't find them that ugly. A lot of this of what you see on the front of these is override protection stuff and crash absorbency bits and everything like that. So they've got safety cabs, really, as the Americans would call them. But I do love them. We do know, we had Richard from Armstrong Powerhouse on stream several times over the past couple of months. And he has mentioned that he has got some sounds for a 70, I think. And a 70 EP is on the cards, but when that's going to be, we don't know. So there is one on the cards. When it's going to happen, we don't know yet. Either way, I'm looking forward to it. So this mod at the moment gives us, whilst not prototypical, it's better than what it had. So it gives it the 66 horn. And we also have different bogey run sounds as well, which actually makes it sound like you're moving, which is quite nice. Once we get going, that irritating wiper noise is drowned out by the loudness of the engine in these, so we're good. Just wait for this 323 to get out of the way. Don't do what I did, by the way. I installed this reskin, the reskin for the 323's and ATS as well. And because it was on Pennine Pacer's route, I had it completely in my head that it was using the Pennine Pacer 323, even though it really doesn't. But in my head, I had it in my head that it did. And when I first ran this scenario the other day on stream, I had some floaty couplings because the geos weren't installed correctly. That was my bad. So don't do a me. Easy to say. When you've made the mistake already. As soon as you come off those points, we can get up a bit of speed, but we are pretty... This run is not a fast run. Whilst it's actually quite a short distance, it literally is 7 miles, but a lot of that is at 20 mile an hour on the freight line, and there's a lot of yellows. I didn't encounter a red on stream, but we'll see if we do in this time of play, because I'll probably be a bit faster. You should be able to hear that different run sound now. Just makes it much more pleasant to drive, I find. And I know I'm going to be irritating a lot of people because the wipers are out of sync. I was driving this on, I think it was Network Scott East a couple of weeks ago, and a few people were flipping their lids because I'd had the wipers out of sync, so I do apologise. I'm not even going to try and get them in sync. I always feel like I should break out in song when I say that. 90s reference. Hopefully we'll go down to yellow. Yep. So 70 itself, it being a DTG, one of DTG's better models by far in my eyes, is something that I think is really ripe for a bit of retexturing in the cab, better sounds, better physics, a little bit more sort of functionality in places would be nice. But on the whole, it's not the worst thing in the world. It's got parking brake, horn, lights. There's not really much else. I don't think it's got, hasn't got DSD, which would be a nice touch. That's about it really for it. Does this have one of the EM2000 screens as well? I don't know if that's included in this, to be fair. Or the equivalent of, should I say. Yeah, that's looking red. I was going to change the weather for this scenario, but I found the drizzle sort of quite Mancunian. I thought it suited it. Last time I was in Manchester, it was not last summer, the summer before, and it was like 29 degrees, but absolutely tipping it down. And it was the horriblest, and I think the most sticky I've ever been in the UK. Oh God, come on, stop. Oh! a beauty. Just. And it's gone yellow as well, so we're good. Could have been worse. Could have been worse. If any of you guys did watch the stream the other day with the Leeds lines merge, beta was shown off. And I got all the way to the end of Gasworks Tunnel. And I decided to ignore this. Didn't ignore the signalling in the scenario. There was a little something at the end of the scenario that I should have waited for, and I didn't, and messed it all up. But what it actually did was find out that we had a bug further up the route that we're now able to fix. So all in all, it's worked really, really well. But yeah, Leeds lines merge. I'm hoping days rather than weeks. Leeds lines merge, for those of you who are going to ask in the chat, in the comments, is London King's Cross to Leeds and York, including the bit with Crossgate. So imagine Leeds lines phase 2 bolted on to the East Coast Main Line merge from York south. So there's nothing north of York, so you can't go all the way up to Scotland from Leeds or anything like that. But you can do York to King's Cross, Leeds to King's Cross, that sort of thing, and anywhere in between. What was that? Single yellow. See, I was running so late the last time I did this, I didn't get any of this. Try not to have to actually fully stop, but it looks like we're going to here. Nice. But again, Alan, remember, single yellow. And it's quite sort of, especially in the 70, this bit we're about to go around is quite an interesting drive. It's tricky to drive the 70 slowly because of how overpowered it is in Train Sim and the physics being as dump as they are. It's not the simplest thing to drive slowly. So it makes it a little bit more of a challenge. Mr. Haig's done a good job of it. For some reason I thought it was coming off before the station then. Do you ever do that thing, like you know routes and in your head you kind of know it, or even if you do scenarios and then you sort of do it again and realise you've got it completely wrong? I do that quite often. Bad short-term memory, I reckon it is. That's what I'm going to blame anyway. And now I think we're pretty much 20 the whole way round now. So for those of you that like really fast running scenarios, this isn't for you. But if you like the sort of doing a little bit of unusual track and that, I really enjoyed it because it's just a bit different. It's not often I do like loco runs either. And 70 is hard to drive slowly. Practice makes perfect. Said nobody ever when it comes to train sim. There's just something really cool about sort of brick arches and trains going over brick arches. Where I live in Cambridge, there isn't any. So it always tells me I've kind of got either into London or I've got north. It's always a big city thing, arches. I love it. And seeing something like a 70 doing a light engine move over the top on a sort of overgrown-y, not massively used, like that little up arrow there as well. That's cool. It's a nice touch. It's like I remember going up to Glasgow and driving under certain bridges as a kid for like years and years and years. I'd always sort of rubberneck the bridge, see if I'd see a train coming over that bridge or whatever. And it wasn't until I was a grown man that I realised that one of the bridges, which is out on the way to Mulgai, is completely disused. It's got no track on it. So I'd probably been looking for 15 years for a train to go over this bit of track. Disused bridge. But I'm sure a lot of you do the same thing if you're driving around, or if you're a passenger, of course, and you see a railway line. You kind of keep your eye on it to see if you catch anything on it. And I love the kick on the tracks here. Traffic cone just sitting in the middle as well. Sort of letting it rev up, and then notch 2 when you light engine, it just wants to fly. But also, if you take power off on this, if you take power completely off, the rolling resistance that this train has in the sim is mental. You lose a mile an hour about every second. It's weird. It doesn't do it all the time either. I can't quite work out what it is. But I quite like its quirks. But I'd much rather have it so that it was EP'd and brilliant. You can dream for a little bit longer. I think there's another scenario on the site that's got an empty stock move of this as well. Like, I think it's in a 37 coming the other way. Or in a 57 actually. Oh, I don't know, I'll have to have a look myself now. has got a lot of atmosphere, this route. Oh, I've got a 30 coming up. Might get a last mile at 30 miles an hour. Wow. I'm being silly. This is the second time I've done the scenario, so. I think the route, the train, the scenario just gets the feel right, and that is the important bit. And it's a real working as well. Refuge transfer site, maybe. Just trying to think of what the SOS on the end of RTS. I think it may be, yeah. It's where the bin liners go from, basically. It's got 30 mile an hour, feels like bloody warp speed. Nice to see an 08 in there as well. Now we've got to watch because we're on a descent, so got to be careful. This will be us descending into Victoria. That signal just creeped round the side of that bridge now, and it's still very, very red. I can't remember if I got stopped here yesterday or not, to be fair, or the other day. It catches me out, man. You think it's going to stop just on the loco brake like that, and it's not. Twice in one scenario. And the problem with being too close is you'll see that it has the moving bug. So this is actually a train sim issue. The player train you're driving cannot be static. It has to be moved, so I think it moves at 0.1 of a mile an hour or something. But if you ever find yourself too close to a signal and you've got quite a way to wait, sometimes it's worth reversing. I'm going to see how this goes for another sort of minute or two and then reverse it back out. Let's have a quick look at the map and check what's going on. See how long we're going to be waiting for something to clear out of our way. Nothing by the looks of it. We should do something very naughty though, just because I'm going to be too close to that. Didn't put it fully in reverse there. Oh, it was going to happen, wasn't it? We'll put ourselves back in the same positions we basically were, and then we get the green. So if I was just patient, that wouldn't have happened. Don't be like me. Oh, you try and get it good, but you never do. Well, you guys do all the time. You guys probably have no problems with spadding or anything like that, or sticking to speed limits. I completely get that. It is me. But you're not here for the pro driving anyway, because there isn't any. And I think I remember rightly, our driver to swap over is on the platform. Yeah, there he is. There. That'll do nicely. I'll take that. I'll take that. Alright guys, thank you very much for joining for that nice short but quite cool video. I hope you've liked the sounds. Keep an eye on the RTS site for that patch going up, if it does of course. Please feel free to like, share and subscribe. Head over to thomson.com for your latest greatest train sim needs. Head over to Twitch. Just keep an eye out, because at the moment it's sort of usually Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, sometimes Friday, so it's all a bit up in the air at the moment, but it's quite good. We've had some good times on there recently, so it's well worth a look. Also head over to the Facebook group if you need any sort of help or want to just join in with the community in general. It's the best place to start. Once again guys, thanks ever so much, and I'll catch you next time.